How can we embrace tapas in the midst of a global wave of grief during the present time? Great question. How can we embrace tapas in the midst of a global wave of grief during the present times? In fact, tapas is more essential in tough times than in good times. In good times, even if you're not performing tapas, or when I say tapas, in a very basic way, it is discipline, it is, or the literal meaning is austerity or ritual. So, in tough times, you have to, it is much more essential. So, how do we embrace tapas? See, in simple terms, if you are working on your own mind and intellect, see, it is few pointers. If you taken carefully and worked upon, all problems are internal. A few pointers, all problems are internal. All happiness is also internal. So if I have to derive that, what I need to do, at the physical level, tapas involves two aspects. Tapas, in fact, one of my most favorite Sanskrit word is tapas, and I always highlight anyone who is reached the previous question, a state of self-sufficiency. There's a lot of tapas there performed. Nothing comes out of tapas. So the first aspect is you are avoiding the dissipation of energy. That's the first aspect in tapas. You avoid dissipation at the material level, at the physical level, at the emotional level, intellectual level. It is when you avoid the dissipation of energy. In the modern context, your stop doing list must be bigger than start doing list. Your stop doing list must be bigger than your start. You may write a big list of I want to start doing this. If you ask me the first, make a list of stop doing list. It is maybe a person spends 1 hour on social media, and then 1 hour on television, and I don't know what all. Your stop doing list must be bigger than start doing list. It is so identify areas where you are dissipating your energy. Material level. During the pandemic, there was this message floating around. They said the message was people are only buying the essentials, and they say that the world is going through an economic recession. People are buying essentials, and the world seems to be going through a recession. I mean, isn't it a sign that a lot of non-essentials were purchased? According to them, the economy is going good because a lot of non-essentials are purchased. They said people are only buying essentials in life, and why are people complaining that it's a recession? So, if you're able to clip the dissipation of energy at the material level, external, at the physical level, at the emotional level, anger, jealousy, fear, all that is or any kind of a negative emotion is dissipation of energy. In fact, it stalls your time. You find in a person who's angry, it takes time. It takes time for them to come out of that negative feeling. So all tapas, the two aspects. Number one, avoid dissipation of energy at all levels. I'm repeating it so that we get that clear. Material level. I'm not talking about being miserly or frugal. You spend what you have to spend, but it is unnecessary stuff. How many watches you need actually? How many handbags you need? How many shoes? I was watching one documentary called Dirty Money, and there's this handbag. I'm sure most of you know. Definitely Layal will know, from France. There's this Birkin handbag, which is it could be easily $25,000 or maybe more, the starting price. There's this politician, the lady, she has not repeated her Birkin handbags in her life, and the starting price is like $30,000. She has not repeated the handbag. And where is she now? Behind bars. I mean, almost behind bars. So, dissipation of energy. dissipate at the how many we need when after Mahatma Gandhi's death, when his possessions were accounted for, and it didn't cost more than $100, I believe. His material possessions was not worth more than $100. But he used a Mont Blanc pen for a few years, and that was auctioned for millions of dollars. Can you imagine? He used it for a few years. It is can you imagine? But his possessions was not more than $100. And what is his contribution? So dissipation of energy at the material level, at the physical level, it is that's why breathing carefully is tapas. When you go through negative emotions, observe the breathing. It is affected. So material level, physical, emotional. See, biggest tapas we need to perform is at the emotional level. We simply entertain emotions. It is without even, we have allowed our mind to run helter-skelter. The tapas we lack at the emotional level is so much. If you ask me, the material level to an extent we understand. Physical level to an extent because of medicines and other things. Emotional level, 9 out of 10 don't understand the tapas required at the emotional level. We always say nip it at the bud. If you are able to observe a negative emotion and understand what happens if I pursue that negative emotion, therefore you avoid pursuing it. You avoid going along with it. Then you are performing tapas. Now, one of my favorite statements, is speak when you are angry. You will make the greatest speech you will ever regret. Speak when you are angry. You will make the greatest speech you will ever regret. Few statements you made, next 3 days you have to defend or you have to apologize. Next 3 days you have to apologize. If only at that point of time you withheld, you will thank yourself. And I didn't make those statements. Especially between partners. I get these complaints in an argument between partners. I shouldn't have got married to you. Why did I get married to you? Unless all this, after 2 days you have to apologize. No, you are a major part of the next 2 days you have to apologize. If only you kept quiet at that time. I'm not saying bottling up your emotion. Tapas at the mental level, at the emotional level. That is why I always say, at any point of time, your gratitude is far greater in your life. It has a check on your negative emotions. The gratitude. See, you may be very successful entrepreneur. You may have amassed a lot of wealth, but when you come back home, my kids and all are they're disciplined. My parents are well taken care. The credit goes to my wife, my partner. That gratitude is there. Where is a question of you having an upper hand in your home? It cannot happen because of the gratitude. The number of days I travel, and sometimes I don't even know what's happening in the school. So well it is taken care. Even my parents, she knows what medicine is required or what alterations are required in their thing than me. That gratitude is higher than your contribution. I'm telling you, that is tapas. That is why they say gratitude is the mother of all virtues. It is so you are avoiding dissipation of negative energies, and as a result you are able to bring in the positive aspects to your emotions. So that's why I'm trying to say emotional level, intellectual level. Tapas is you don't give in to others' emotion, others' opinions. Of late I find somebody's opinion of another person, you take it on face value and you drop a relationship. Intellectual level, the tapas is you exercise your own understanding. It's incredible how opinions spoil relationships. And the tapas, we're going to take up that sloka where I am the knowledge of self of all the knowledges, says Krishna. Tapas at the intellectual level is you expand your intellect. You expand your intellect. It is there's a contemplation now. You don't go by opinions. You don't go by others' their statements. So you go by facts. That's the reason you keep working on yourself. So tapas at the material level, at the physical level, it is the conserving the energy. See, tapas at the physical level, you have to ask Venuji. Venuji is 65 now. Sorry, 60. He will not unmute himself. Tapas, you have to ask him at the physical level. It is, because I know whom well, I'm talking about it. I am not aware of others that much. Regularly goes for a walk. Walking, eating healthy. Regularly. It is not once in a way. Even though his wife is a great cook, it is tapas at the physical level. Emotional level. Emotion. You refuse to entertain anything negative about others. That's tapas at the emotional level. See, this statement, right? Happy and blessed are when wickedness stands forth revealed as goodness bereft of a guide. Happy and blessed are, HOUR, is when wickedness stands forth revealed as goodness without a guide. If that's your quality of emotions, you can never entertain negative emotions. Intellectual, keep gaining knowledge. We completed the Bhajagovindam. Bhagavad Gita Kinchit Atita. Little knowledge you take in, reflect on it. It will dispel a little bit of your ignorance. Little light you take in, it dispels a little bit of your darkness. And you do it consistently. Tapas, the greatest tapas is when you are able to be consistent in your approach. Yesterday I was meeting a person, I was mentioning how the temporary, you have to make the temporary high permanent. You're attending lectures, the temporary high, you got to make it permanent. Therefore, you are like Usain Bolt, 3 Olympic tournaments, and all 3 Olympics he gets 100 meters gold. It is not that one Olympic in the first he had it and then next to it no sign of Usain Bolt. 3 Olympics, consecutive Olympics, he got the gold for 100 meters. And what's the difference between the first and the second? Less than a second. The gold and the silver. What is the difference? What makes less than a second? What amount of tapas must have gone in? So, in fact, to conclude, tapas should be pleasurable. Initially, it is a bit of a difficulty, but it should become a pleasurable. It should become a way of life. It is therefore follow a schedule. In certain ways, the best part with the ashram life is there's a schedule. When you follow a schedule, it brings a system to your life. There's a tapas. That is why it's like every Fridays 6 p.m. is the Gita lecture. If it becomes a schedule in you, you're following tapas. It's not that being adamant, but in a schedule you follow, it becomes a tapas. And then that creates a consistency. So think about it. Never miss out on your tapas. Any worldly achievement is due to tapas, and spiritual evolution is self-sufficiency is due to great tapas. So let's not miss out. And if you have missed out on life, it is due to a lack of tapas. So there's nothing more grand in life than a life of tapas. And I'm telling you, you'll be so thankful you went through that grind. It is tapas. Because your mother went through tapas, you are here. If she said, I don't think I need that child, you will not be here. Tapas. That 9 months of tapas, pain, and there is so much they go through. It's tapas. So, if I am speaking here, it's almost like 25 years of tapas. And I tell you that 25 years has been such a glorious journey. Glorious journey. It's one word we should sum up our life: tapas. And it's a life. If your life is a life of tapas, it's a different life altogether. See, I always say, the last day of your life, you are answerable to the person who's standing in front of the mirror, which is yourself. In case that day comes, whenever the last day you are standing in front of a mirror and there's no one else you need to be answerable, responsible except yourself. And at that point of time, and if there is a certain level of fulfillment, satisfaction, contentment, it is because of the tapas you have gone through. And if you have not done that, and there is a lot of disappointment, regret, sadness, it means you have not performed tapas in the way you have to do it. So, I mean, it's not that whenever it happens, it almost you take a salute. That was a grand life. Life was beautiful, and you exit with such grace and grandeur. It is due to tapas. It is due to tapas. You could have made wrong choices, but you corrected it with a better choice. Our life is a cycle of choice, consequence, next choice. Choice, consequence, next choice. So if the next choice is better, it is a life of tapas. My favorite word, and so is Nadine, very favorite. Her kind of a dedication and her interest in spiritual path is phenomenal. She could be of another faith, but she is more Indian than many Indians. So continue with your tapas with Shraddha. 2 words, tapas and Shraddha. Tapas is that discipline. It's the literal translation of tapas, an intelligent utilization of resources at the material, physical, emotional, intellectual aspects of your personality, and conserving those energies, avoiding the dissipation of energies, conserving those energies and directing for a higher purpose. That is tapas. I repeat, tapas is an intelligent utilization of resources at the material level, physical level, emotional level, intellectual level. You conserve the energies which could be dissipated. You conserve them and direct those energies for a higher purpose. Then you are living a life of tapas. Anyone having great physical health, tapas. Great mental health. Those who had phenomenal mental health during the pandemic times or COVID times, you have done your tapas. It worked well. In fact, in modern context, I say tapas is the insurance premium you pay for something which may have in case it happens. You can't buy an insurance premium when your house is under fire. Quickly give me one insurance. When I will pay the premium, whatever right now. Why the house is on fire? No. You've been diligently paying it. In case something happens, you're quiet. You understand things happen. So that's it.